And here we go again. Hello everyone, guten Tag, bonjour, добрый день. This is me, Zeno. Wait, if you could, here you can see the name. It's Zeno, and I am today with you again. Who would have thought that my content is going to bring you here today? Yes, I don't stream often. In fact, I should do more of it. And if we go and we look at the YouTube table, at the YouTube dashboard, basically, from weekly streams, I remember we had at least one once a week. Even sitting in an Arsenal jersey. We now have switched to barely good if it's once a month. But hey, I've had some adjustments. I'm trying to do my best at sometimes go live. For example, I went live a month ago and I'm going to go live today. And the funniest thing is, we launched a format called, well, basically, I uploaded a video about push ups where I talked about, I actually didn't spot how many views it got. That basically, this is going to be the year of push ups. So we're going to constantly have YouTube shorts this year where I'm just going to be doing push ups. You know, we've done 30 for 30 days. Now it's time to do 40 for 40 days. Another important thing, before I connect my YouTube channel to the stream, I don't know why it's not showing me my YouTube audience for some reason. Let me just see if we're actually live, because I got people watching me around. Not everyone who is ready to watch, apparently, on YouTube. But yeah, this is gonna be the year where you're gonna be watching a lot of videos of me doing push-ups. But also tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, this week. This week, I can officially announce that we are gonna have a Super Bowl stream. This is already official. I already decided it because I wanted to stream the whole journey. Wait, let me listen. Yeah, this is gonna be the year where you're gonna be watching. Yeah, so my stream works on YouTube. I have no clue why it's not showcasing me. Anyway, this is going to be a stream like we did last year. Wait, let me actually find it. It's somewhere. I'm not sure if it's actually one of my most popular ones, but yeah, here it is, actually, the Super Bowl stream. And we went for 5 hours. I don't think we're gonna go for 5 hours this year because, again, that Super Bowl went to overtime. But we're gonna watch the Chiefs and we're gonna watch their free peat, and I think we're going to go through all the different aspects of life while we watch that stream. So we're gonna talk about everything that happened on the sports venue, including the Luka Doncic trade. I'm telling you, I am so desperate to talk about it live somewhere, but I'm keeping it for the Super Bowl stream because we're not gonna be talking all the time about the Super Bowl, right? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be, the game is gonna go, but we're not gonna talk about it the whole time. Anyway, this was the first announcement. Second announcement for today is that we are back and watching our favorite YouTuber, my boy Jen. Now, the reason why I called this video, I think I called this stream, I called it child free, I suppose. Yeah, wait, let me see. Let me see how I called it. Boom, boom. Give me a second. Boom. I can't find. Okay, I can't find the title of this stream. But anyway, this is a stream where we're going to be talking about child free people. Now, first of all, I think I wrote child free incorrect. Let me just Google it quickly. Yeah, child free is supposed to be written differently. But anyway, the reason why we're watching this video is because we are going to be watching this video. It's a 23-minute video about people not wanting to have kids. And yeah, for those of you who follow me for a long time now on YouTube particularly, you know my path and the way I pick up videos, and you also know why we watch Jen. So it's funny how this channel is called Philosophy of Zeno, yet most of its content is not about philosophy and actually includes me doing physical activity. But we're gonna fix this right now. We're gonna fix this right now. Before I do that, you make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and I'll make sure that I rename the stream. here. Ah, boom. I figured out how to make it correct. Blah. Nice. Anyway, we're watching one video today because I honestly I don't have the time. I cannot tell you how I don't have the time to go out there and watch the whole thing. So for that simple reason, we are going to be watching, so to say, just one video. And also before I go, let me just check how it works if I
Hello.
screen. Yeah. Oh hell no. We got so many good tests at the beginning. I already enjoy it. Wait, how do I switch it? This new version of Restream actually sometimes annoys me, not gonna lie. Boom. And then I have to maximize myself. I have to skip the ads. Okay, I actually got this. I think I got this. Wait, let me share this tab now. Uh, uh I want to figure out why is it not fully. You know, can you see this? It's not showing the full screen. Maybe I'll figure it out when I edit. Well, let me try this one. Nah, it did not help. I'm gonna bring it back. Anyway, it's all good. I think the quality is kind of all right. So yeah, I got some Craig Ferguson recommendations right over here. I did save a video to watch about him. I actually enjoyed some of the clips that I've spot. But anyway, today's our boy Jen, and that is why we are starting this stream. If you got anything to say, the chat is always open and welcome for you. But in any case, let's kick it out. Actually, before we kick it out, let me remove the name sticker because I don't think you need to see the name sticker. Ah, how do I do it? Yeah, there, boom. Ah, I think I figured it out, guys. Ah, check this out. I figured it out. Boom. Easily. Easily. With that being said, let's go watch the video. Is it selfish to want kids? A video by Jen. You can't see that. Wait, I have to redo the intro now because the screen is so big. Should I? I'll just keep it like this. I'll just keep it like this. I think it's good. Yeah, let's redo the intro. Is it selfish to not want kids? A video by Jen, a YouTube blogger who we have been watching for over a year now. You all know what I think about it. You all know what I think about people and the idea of children. But really, truthfully, this channel is a platform to give everyone a chance of opinion. And I don't run these streams just to, so to say, push my narrative. Yes, I have my own narrative. And the reason why I have it is because I thought it the best to live by. But it's all good. It's all good if you do not want it's all good if you find something that you do that can help you live a better life. I'm all good as long as it doesn't interfere with me, with me personally. But anyway, let's see what Jen has to say about this because I'm actually pretty like I know what Jen is probably gonna say. I'm particularly interested in the arguments and to generally know what does the human population, especially in the States, think right now. I know it's been 1 month ago, this video, December 17th, 2024, but I don't think a lot would have changed in such a short period of time. So with that being said, let's try and figure out this video. Let me see how you can see it. Nice.
Why do you think a lot of young people aren't having kids?
Honestly, selfishness.
I've never ever wanted kids. It's a little bit selfish.
I feel like I just can't dedicate the time.
I gotta find the right lady first.
Do you think motherhood is looked down upon?
I think relationships do break from motherhood.
Having a feminine role in a family is looked down upon. You're a boss, bitch. You don't need no dude.
I think it's more of the women that are not.
Does he just catch people who are on the run? Like, this woman was for sure on the run. This guy was perhaps on the run. Well, this one, okay, she's got, like, you see these jeans shorts, so maybe she wasn't. This girl might have been on the run. He's like, okay, who is gonna be my best audience? Who is gonna be the average person I want to talk to? Runners, come here. Obviously, it's all a joke, but it's funny to when you spot it.
Not wanting to have kids than it is men.
I'm actually going through a breakup right now.
Oh no.
Birth rates are at historic lows and everybody thinks they know why. They blame feminism, degeneracy to rising costs, but I think everybody has gotten it wrong. So I'll tell you what I think, but let's also
Let
explore
me see the stats again.
costs, but I think everybody has gotten it
Below replacement of, okay, I did not get the stat. It's
wrong. So I'll tell you what I think, but let's also explore what the solution is to support an increasingly aging population.
See, that's a good actually example. He's not just trying to say to give a reason or something. He's trying to say, here's a problem. Let's try to think of a solution. That's why I like his videos.
Because is the answer in immigration, or is the future about to get a whole lot weirder? To find out, I talked to some pretty unexpected people. A sperm donor and a woman who just used one.
I didn't feel like I need to go through a partner just to have a baby. I wanted to be a single mother.
But first, let's hit the streets. Do you want kids?
No.
Why?
I've never ever wanted kids ever since I was little. People kept repeating to me, oh, you'll change your mind, you'll change your mind. Guess what? I'm almost 30, still haven't changed my mind. They
30?
cost a lot of money. The economy.
She looks like in her early 20s, and I think this should be taken as a compliment.
And honestly, it's also like I feel always so excited to travel and do all these things. It just makes it so hard.
Yes.
Why?
I want to give them the life that I didn't have as a child. I grew up
That's
with a
nice
single parent, my
answer.
mom
I
raising
think
me.
every parent wants that life, you know? Even because you automatically assume that you would be able to give your children what you had, but you just want to give them even more, even better. So that's a cool approach. I actually like it.
It was a very toxic household, and I didn't get the love that I think I deserve, so I really want to give that to my kids, which is why dating is so important to me.
How's that going for you so far?
Horrible.
I'm actually going through a breakup right now.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Do you
I've been in a very similar situation in the last couple of days. Not gonna talk about it publicly just yet, but I get what Jen was having in his head right now.
want kids?
Yes, I believe in God and Jesus, and he tells us to repopulate the earth. I also think there's a growing trend of people who don't want kids because they think that kids are destroying the planet, that we're overpopulated. I don't think that's true. The destroying of the family unit is so prevalent in every scope of society right now that it's almost rebellious to want to have kids.
How many kids do you want?
I want at least 4.
4?
At least
Damn.
I would want
You know what's always amused me amongst women and men is, I mean, I do get again that also a child is something big, is something that goes through the years, but I think from a male perspective, it's always easier to want to have a lot of kids than it is from a female one, because the woman has to give birth to them. The woman has to dedicate 9 months for a child that isn't even born yet. And if you're willing to do this with 4, that means you're taking away. Well, I'm not saying taking away is like in a bad thing, but you're basically spending over 3 years with growing a human being in your body. And from a male it's easier. Like, of course, a male human being would want a lot of kids. Like, why not? You just do what you got to do, and then you're still able to live your life. Probably not in that big of a freeway, but you're still able to live your life. For a woman, it's completely different. And the fact that women want a lot of kids always I always respected it. I always thought that was cool. So I don't know about you people, but truthfully, respect to those people, to those women, and to men, but both in a huge advantage also to the no, in a huge, how do you say it? Mostly for man also, but a lot more, I would even say, to women.
Bring kids into the world in an environment where both parents want children. And so for me personally, my wife doesn't want kids. And so that wouldn't be a good environment to bring a kid into. So it doesn't really matter to me.
I would like God. She doesn't want kids, that's like a red flag. And that she's never ever gonna want, it's I don't know, it's just, for me personally, the idea is so, I just think it's such a great idea. Like in general, I'm not sure that I would be able to love someone who doesn't want to have kids. That also might sound selfish, not gonna lie. Let me check how the stream is working. Yeah, oh good, stream is working good.
Do want kids.
Why is that?
I feel like it's kind of like a legacy thing. As you know, I'm in my late 20s now.
Okay, we got an advertisement. That means that I'm turning off the stream. And we're gonna go back to the advertisement process. Yeah, I have to figure out how to do it without turning off the stream, every single time. Let me try this. Boom, boom. Yeah, it works.
I feel like it's kind of like a legacy thing. As you know, I'm in my late 20s now, and it's not something I want tomorrow, but you start to think into the future and your life and just long term. And I feel like you can only leave so much of a legacy without having kids.
What do you think's stopping you from having kids right now then?
I got to find the right lady first.
I did, and now I'm hesitant.
Why is that?
Okay.
I think I've moved from yes to maybe because I want to feel financially stable in my life before I can bring a child into it. And then also,
it's not a maybe, it's just that he's afraid, which is, all at the same time, you can criticize him that, well, you figure it out and it's all going to be good. But at the same time, you can kind of also get the point, because if you're not able to take care of yourself, imagine how are you going to be taking care of a child at the same time. So I do get the guy. It's not that he went to know, but it's just like he's thinking that the child deserves a good future. The child deserves to have a good childhood.
I want to feel a little bit more optimistic about the future.
The greatest blessing we can put on this earth is other children. So I believe it's our duty to have kids and spread everything we learn so we can learn from our mistakes and be better than the last generation.
I don't think I ever really wanted kids.
Why is that?
I did, probably when I was younger. And then as I got older, and then some of my friends were having kids, and I saw how big of a responsibility that was, felt like for my life and my kind of goals, because I really want to be an entrepreneur. I feel like I just can't dedicate the time.
So say you're
the most successful entrepreneurs have the most kids. So that is a lame excuse. Like, no offense with you, nothing personal, but that is a lame excuse. Because if you check how much kids does Elon Musk have, Jeff Bezos, I don't know, who else can I think? Donald Trump before presidency. The most, even local big entrepreneurs. You talk about European entrepreneurs, talk about German entrepreneurs, talk about big Ukrainian entrepreneurs. They all have a lot of kids. So nothing personal, but that's a lame excuse.
You're a successful entrepreneur already. After that, do you want kids and you have all the money in the world?
As of right now, no, but I haven't crossed that bridge, so I couldn't tell you.
So I actually made a video on this a few years ago, but the fact is birth rates have...
What? Haven't I watched even this video? I think I might have watched it on stream. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Continue to drop, where by 2050, over 75% of the world will be below replacement levels of 2.1 children per woman. Do people just actually feel held back by financial reasons? Or do they just not give a shit about babies anymore? Well, I looked into it, and this study of 4,400 millennials found the top 3 reasons why they're not having kids, and they're actually all economic. A lot of people are looking at family as a luxury that only the rich can afford. You can also just...
That's why I just said that all successful entrepreneurs have a lot of kids.
See this amongst the people that you may talk to or interact with, and even from the people that you expect to be the most pro-family. Like, look at this comment section of Brett Cooper's video reacting to my first video on birth rates, which literally got damn near the same amount of views, where I spent goddamn weeks making it, by the way. But anyways, what you're also seeing in her right.
I'm sorry, Jen. Nothing personal. I'm gonna eventually come to that level. I'm gonna come to the level where I'm gonna create my own things, and you're free to react to them as well, but just not now. Not yet. I think I still have a couple years to catch up to you. By the way, I don't remember which age he is. I think I still got a couple years to catch up.
Leaning audience comment section is a lot of people also saying that they don't want kids or feel like they can't really afford it. But then again, maybe the ones with families probably got better things to do than comment on a YouTube video. Okay. But in all
That's a good one.
seriousness,
That is a
as
good
someone
one.
who absolutely want and will have kids in the future, I want to go beyond the obvious shit that everybody has fucking talked about in this topic and go even deeper. Pause. Because when I've seen some of the poorest families have kids while some of the richest don't, I don't think it's simply down to the money.
Growing number of married couples deciding not to have kids at all.
But at the same time, are there also some people that are taking having kids way too far?
It was fully just out of his free will to give me a baby, lifting my legs up in a position where it's all gonna work.
I guess you'll see.
Why do you think a lot of young people aren't having kids?
Honestly, selfishness, narcissism, not wanting their bodies to change long term, the financial burden. They just want money to buy stuff and live their life, which I understand to an extent, but really at the core, I think we're supposed to be selfless. And I think one of the most selfless things you can do is have a child.
Probably.
If I wouldn't even say that, it's like, the people are so afraid of responsibility, and kids don't no one's judging them, and nothing is pushing you economically. So let's look at the family unit in the 17th century, for example. The more kids you had, the bigger you could the bigger your family was, the bigger you could all together work and produce, which meant you had a better life. Kids equaled actually better life. They were not only in a positive moral stuff better life, but they were also economically a better life. And now the thing is, again, I don't want to fall down to the economic debate, but I think that thing has shifted less, but the responsibilities have grown. We see the treatments, you can't, like, we can compare 16th and 19th century, even we can compare 20th and 21st century, and how this thing about how you should behave towards a kid has evolutionized, because we as human beings have also evolutionized. And yeah, people are just afraid of it, and because their lives weren't that bad, really, I would even argue like this, they weren't that bad, so they kind of don't want to mess it up with kids. Again, it sounds like a selfish argument, but I'm not trying to defend anyone. Again, everyone knows my position, but this is just something that comes to the head.
Because of the economic downfall, times are tough. The economy is rough. If they can afford it, they probably will. And I think this generation, definitely, people are getting married later. I don't know why, but it seems to be the case.
Yeah, that's
nowhere near getting married.
That is a whole other topic of discussion. We might have it today, or we might have it in some other reaction, but we're definitely having it.
It's mostly money and time. The newer generation are realizing that they want more money to do more things to a certain degree.
I think in today's society, a lot of women are feeling more empowered to not stay in toxic relationships. Everything is temporary. You don't have to stay in something. What I'm trying to relay here is, like, I think it's more.
Ah, damn it, I have another. You know what I'm just gonna do? I'm just gonna switch to this tab instead while I play the ad. It's just much easier for me.
Everything is temporary. You don't have to stay in something. What I'm trying to relay here is, like, I think it's more of the women that are not wanting to have kids than it is men. I just hate social media personally, the ways that we interact, the ways that we date, the way that men view women more objectively, because of, like, a lot of women themselves, like,
That is also
objectifying
true.
themselves and, like.
That's also, I like that she also spots out that the reason why men objectify women is not only men's fault, but it also how a lot of women portray themselves on social media. That's actually a pretty good argument. I like again, I don't want to blame someone here, but I'm saying that let's look at the whole picture in general.
You're saying it's like a two-way issue.
Yes,
It's like men that are doing that, but it's not like women are free from the blame as
For
well.
sure.
I think having kids is about like genuine love. And I think whenever we get over sexualized, we tend to look at women as just objects, and vice versa. Women look at us as just, a dick to hop on. The social aspect that we live in right now is very anti-nuclear family. The idea of, a woman and a man raising a family, and the men being the head of household and the woman.
I would say it's not that. Like truly, if you talk in real life to people, it's not that, so to say, anti-nuclear, but it's definitely small. It's definitely smaller than it was in the past. But let's even make a bigger picture. Let's say 99% were pro family, 1% were anti. It's like stats are out of my head. I'm just making them up. And now let's say it's grown to 90% to 10%, right? The anti family obviously grew 10 times bigger than it was in the past. The anti family, though, did not decline 10 times as much. They're still at a much bigger level. You got 90% of people. But that 10%, thanks to social media, because they're the most active on there, because they're the loudest there, they made it seem like this generation is more anti-family, so to say. So when, yes, I do agree that these things have shifted, starting from the way we date, how long we date before marriage, how long do we wait in marriage before we have kids, and all that good stuff. While that all has shifted, I wouldn't say it's as bad as it's often thought by people like him, for example. I do get where he gets his thoughts. He gets them from watching social media, because on social media, those 10% are the loudest ones. That's why we think they're much bigger than they really are. Hope this makes sense.
Being the caretaker, I think that idea is kind of frowned upon nowadays. And I think that at its core is the best way to raise children and to have a family.
I think there's a masculine feminine dynamic where women are more independent, and so they're not settling down. It's taking them later to settle down. I think a lot of men, when they meet a high quality woman who's driven, who has a good job, is making good money, there's an intimidation factor there for a lot of men, especially if they don't have their shit together. The traditional path is, you go to school, you get a 9 to 5, you get married, you have kids. And I think more people today, with the rise of social media and technology and information, are questioning whether that is the right path for them and that's truly what they want.
Okay, so this actually brings me to my point, because I think a lot of people on the right like to blame this devaluing of the family, which is partly true, but what the hell does that even mean, right? Because in many ways, and I feel like I can say this as like a dual culture kid, America has always not really seen kids as assets, but more so liabilities that you kick out once they turn 18. And I think a lot of my international viewers will agree with me. So what I'm curious about is, why are American women more or less saying, fuck them kids? I think if you look here at the census data, it explains it. Because simply put, our
fertility. Okay, I apologize to everyone who might have already understood and wants me to move on with the video, but I just need to Google some things. Okay. Ooh, that's a small percentage. Wow. Or it's not percentage. As okay, that make I thought it was percentage. Like, holy damn, this is percentage. Shush. Check especially this one, minus 42 in these gaps. This is, and I know this because my grandmothers gave birth at this age, and they especially were the most active talking about that this is the age gap when you get birth, and this is usually the best time to give especially birth to the first child. But look how it's downgraded since. I mean, okay, the 15-19, I can see it, but these 72% don't scare me as much, but these 42, oh man. But to be fair, with the rise of medicine, you got a much bigger improvement for women who are older. You can see 30, 34, and especially late 30s. Not even gonna talk about 40s, because that is something that I think in the 80s, 90s would have been a shocker, not to say the least.
Generation is just moving a lot differently, a lot more cautiously, and growing up later, but for good reason. One reason is our generation has seen a lot of institutions fail, from the economic collapse to wars, and right now, we even have an all-time low trust in media. And that's exactly why I use my sponsor, Straight Arrow.
Okay, I ain't also advertising your sponsors, John. Sorry. No. Now we're back.
Women are waiting a lot longer to have kids, as seen in the large percentage increase from 30 to 34, 35 to 39, and 40 to 44 even had a 132% increase since 1990. People are waiting a lot longer to have kids, but what impact will this have on the world? And I looked into this further, and it shows that only 10% of women were childless by choice. The other 10% for medical reasons, and the most common reason affecting this 80% of women is that they waited too long to have children. So if the data is not lying, this shows that majority of women do want kids at some point in their lives.
Social media is gonna make you believe the small percentage. Social media is gonna raise a bubble out of nothing. Social media. And hey, don't blame me. I'm also using social media. But I just already figured it out, like, I think a year or two ago, that a lot of the times shit is not the same as you see it on social media. But the reason for that is because it's the minority that talks the loudest. So many times. That's why we have this misunderstanding sometimes. But let's dig into it a bit deeper.
But 80% is pretty big, man. So this got me thinking that this must.
Okay, how many ads am I going to have to skip today?
At least some of these people were influenced to suppress their desires.
Do you think motherhood is looked down upon?
I think actually a lot of people, at least from my perspective, a lot of people end up seeing motherhood as like their main purpose, their biggest purpose in life. I, on the other hand, haven't had that calling, so I can't speak for myself, but I don't think it's looked down upon. I think relationships do break from motherhood.
No, but I think having a feminine role in a family is looked down upon. It goes into the music industry. You have artists like Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion pushing the idea of, boss bitch, you don't need no dude, which by all means do that, but I think that being in girls' heads, that type of mom isn't a good mom. A good mom accepts that she's the caregiver. I think there has to be roles, there has to be balance, and men and women are both losing that idea of balance.
But when having 2 kids with a husband and wife quickly shifts from being normal to more of a luxury, other options are obviously going to become a lot more popular. So now I was curious to talk to someone who really wanted to have kids, and at the same time, someone who really wanted to be a single mother. And all I could think about is this going to be the future?
Nice to meet you, Sophie. I've interviewed a lot of different types of perspectives on this channel so far, but this might be the most interesting. You're currently pregnant and you did it through unconventional ways.
I felt like going to a sperm bank, the doctor might use his own sperm.
Does that happen?
Yeah, this happens quite a few times for a lot of people, unfortunately. I have seen a lot of things like that, which scared me a bit. So I thought I definitely didn't want to really go down that road. And I didn't feel like I need to have to go just to have a partner, relationship or marriage, just to have a child. It's not something I thought that I wanted to do, and I'm not getting younger.
You're only 24, 25. What is kind of like the big rush? I know.
Wait, she's 20. Remember that I assume she has some Mexican heritage. Girl who said she was like 30 years old. Maybe it's the camera view, but I would rather say that this woman looks 30. Don't you? Again, no offense. I totally blame the camera. I blame the camera because, You know, sometimes it's misunderstood, it's confusing. Yeah, but if you're really 24, 25, truly, what's the rush? I mean, I know I said a lot today, but you know, we're talking about society of today, right?
Like a biological clock, but you still have time.
I felt ready. I'm in a secure place now in myself, in my life. I didn't feel like rushing straight away to a sperm donor, wanting it right now, but it come along my path, and I felt like, okay, do you know what? This is the right time. I'm at the right stage in life.
So we'll get to the guy who got her pregnant in just a minute, but first I wanted to know how she even got in contact with him.
I found him on Instagram, and I wanted to know a bit more, so I had quite a lengthy video chat with him to make sure he was actually real as well. He suggested and offered me to go straight to where he was. He said he'd pay the
No
tickets for me.
offense, but when you look at these eyes, don't you in your head think creepy? Dude, maybe you're a nice guy in your heart, but truthfully, you gotta make better pictures because you look a bit creepy.
Me to go to him, or that he could come to me. Obviously, in my schedule, it worked best for him to come here. So
he flew to London.
Yeah, he even like offered to pay my tickets to go to.
Okay, I'm sorry that there's so many ads. I'm also a bit in a little shock right now, but yeah, let's keep watching this.
London.
Yeah, he even like offered to pay my tickets to go to London.
Did you guys have any contracts? You guys didn't exchange any money?
No, we didn't exchange any money. There was no contract signing. It was fully just out of his free will to offer to give me a baby.
So was it through like kind of like a insemination, or did you guys actually engage in activities?
It was through NI.
What does that mean?
Natural.
Got it.
So they actually
And it
slept.
didn't take long. It was very quick. You know, it was less than half an hour, and lifting my legs up and, you know, in a position where it's all gonna work.
Wait, he didn't just get. Holy mother of my macaroni! Yeah, listen, no offense. I didn't. I truly wanted to like not take sides, but even the way she's telling me, it's this stop moment. Maybe it's the camera, but dude, that is slightly creepy.
Do you think people look down on the method that you did?
I think definitely people would criticize my way of doing it because they would see it as, oh, well, you shouldn't do that, you know, you should probably like get married or have a partner just to have a child, and it's not something I wanted to do. Like, I had a bad relationship. I was in a relationship for nearly 10 years, and that was my first relationship.
You're 25. When did it start? She was 14, 15? I mean, I do get. Ah, no. She now had a bad relationship and she's blaming everything around. This could not be. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, let's just watch it. I'm already losing my words saying, so to say. We've been already long enough on this stream, but oh no. Oy. Yeah, that's a bit harsh.
And it sort of scared me and put me off, and I didn't feel like I want to go into another relationship just to have a child, which is something I really wanted to be as a mother. I wanted to be a single mother and raise my child the best way I can.
And well, here it is. This is the guy who got Sophie pregnant.
My name is Kyle Gordy, and I'm a sperm donor. So I'm not a sperm donor at a bank. I actually donate my sperm directly to people.
That is a legit business.
I have traveled the entire world. I've been to Australia, all over Asia.
Wait, if I'm able to find him on this, what's his Instagram? Kyle Gordy 1234. Holy mother of my. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but it's just I'm still in this creepness shock. You know what I'm saying? World traveler. Huh. This is a profile of a creep, I'm sorry. This is just too creepy, you know? Especially with this picture. God damn it. Yeah, bro has to learn how to take better pictures. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Dude. Nothing fancy, but I'm still in shock. Oh yeah, you weren't seeing it, sorry. Here's his Instagram. Here is this, so to say, legend. Wait, he has a website. He has a freaking website. I'm telling you, it's a legit business. What the actual hell? Whoa. 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 Yeah, no, we're not watching that. We're so not watching this website. It's enough that I'm gonna watch his whole interview, but I'm not going through the website also.
You're out, and currently I'm in the United Kingdom. I have kids in all places.
What got you into this, and why do you do this?
So I got into it because I didn't know if I ever was going to have any kids of my own. It was very sad. And, you know, obviously I'm still open to a relationship if the right along for watching this. Hey, ladies, I'm putting it out there.
Ladies, if you're watching this, you know you're gonna have to share a father. Your kids will gonna have to share a father with some 100, or maybe under 100, but let's say 25 other children. I would think twice.
And so that's why I kind of got into getting sperm, because I never knew.
So let me ask you this. I heard from Sophie that you were even willing to buy her flights and that it was actually completely free. So it seems like it's not even like a monetary incentive. I guess, is this what you do full time? How do you support yourself? And really, why do you do this?
I think it's not about me, like, having a kid. I think it's more about, like, I think it's about the next person. She doesn't have a child today. She wants a child. I think it's a lot, like...
Oh my god, you got to stop it with these ads. I got to buy myself premium. I'm sorry. I gotta purchase myself a premium subscription. I'm so done with these ads. So done that I might pay.
Very deep. You know, I guess if you have kids, probably would understand.
No, I don't. I don't
yeah,
know.
It's hard to understand. But if you had kids, I think you'd understand.
So look, I'm gonna keep it real because whenever I'm feeling biased or strongly about something, I'm gonna tell you. That interview was probably one of the weirdest fucking interviews I've ever had. I don't know about you, but I just felt like uneasy talking to him. And look, who can say shit if he's doing this consensually and the other partner is all aware of it? But honestly, doesn't bro just have like a breeding fetish? Anyways, let's move on to the most important question or topic that I wanted to explore in this video. But before we do, sign up for our free weekly news.
Oh my god, you have got to be shushing me with these ads.
I wanted to ask is this.
What do you think is like the biggest threat to humanity? Do you think it's overpopulation or population collapse?
Overpopulating anywhere, it always seems to be much bigger of a problem than less population, even though the population runs the economy. But that's my personal thought.
I think the idea that overpopulation exists is a complete lie. I don't think overpopulation is a real thing. I mean, it's a real thing, but I don't think it's a problem in today's world. When you really dive into how much open land we have, how much food we waste every year, there's plenty to go around. It's a wealth distribution problem.
Aging population. It's not having enough kids to sustain the economy as we age out. By the time we're old, there aren't going to be enough kids to take care of us in the retirement homes.
Probably population collapse. That would be like underpopulation, right? Yeah.
If it were to be between the two, I would say population collapse. But honestly, I think we're in a fallen state in this world. The only battle we have right now is against evil.
So I think the question keeps returning to, are we cooked? Because by the looks of it, when every country by the year
2100, if I'm still walking alive, I'm not gonna care. My kids are gonna repopulate this earth eventually. I'm already gonna be an old grandpa just watching these old videos thinking about the good old days.
2100 is set to decline in population. Yeah, it does look like we're getting cooked. And y'all remember this graph? Because when we look even closer, even though we established earlier that older women are having more kids, it actually doesn't even come close to offsetting the drop in birth rates for young women aged 25 to 29, 20 to 24.
Yeah, it's also about the numbers. You see pure, not even the percentage, but the pure numbers is like from 61 to 16, almost twice. Over here, it's almost like what, 50? Got under almost 30 here. Yeah, that's about also the raw numbers.
And look at finally 15 to 19 with a 72 negative drop. When you consider things like the biological clock, no wonder they're not able to offset it, and birth rates are plummeting. But even though this all sounds cooked, there is at least some positives. Teen pregnancies have plummeted since 1990, where back then a third of those pregnancies would have been unplanned and with low-income women who were not ready to have kids. And so there's that, and I can stop it there, but no, what this investigation revealed is that we're not cooked. And it does go beyond the obvious, like rising costs. Sure, money absolutely matters, right? That complicates things. But what we're actually facing is something a little bit more abstract. What I would say is a generational global crisis of confidence and purpose.
True.
Look, it sounds corny, but let me explain. I mean, think about it. We're a generation.
Like even the dating world. If you look at the dating world, look how long does it take for a guy to find a girl? Good consensual relationship. That takes much longer than it used to do, and it takes much more years with especially older people.
Of kids who've grown into adulthood jaded than any other generation before. We grew up feeling like liabilities and burdens rather than feeling like assets to our parents' economy and planet. And we saw institutions that were supposed to be here for us to deliver us stability and prosperity, governments, corporations, educational systems fail over and over again and end up as hollow, corrupt, and self-interested as we are. And what I mean is that in a world where we seemingly have unlimited options at our fingertips from career, lifestyle, sexualities, and communities, we lack any sort of purpose. And instead of dedicating ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves so we can build an even better generation for the future, we're secretly operating and being blind.
Oh my god, these ads. I apologize. This is the last one, I swear. I hope at least they won't put me anymore.
Better generation for the future, we're secretly operating and being blinded in action by the illusion of choice. But at the end of the day, survival. Because why would you gamble on tomorrow when the system feels rigged and today already feels so uncertain? And so when someone like Sophie grew up as an orphan, and I'm sure she had her fair share of difficulties.
Grew up as an orphan, had a 10-year relationship that didn't last. Now it makes a lot of sense why she wanted to be a single mother.
That I can't even imagine. Can we blame her for wanting her kids on her terms and controlling an outcome that's usually been the most unpredictable? So it made me think, is this single mother by choice going to be the future? You're based in the UK. I think UK's fertility rates have been dropping year over year, and now it's below replacement levels like a lot of the Western societies. Do you think this way of having children is going to become a lot more popular?
Definitely, I think so.
Same as we talked before. Will it be more popular than it was before? Perhaps, yeah. It's gonna grow from 0.00001% to, let's even say, 1%. It's still a lot. It's still a lot if you take the big numbers. But you still got the 99% who are doing it the natural way, right? So, yes, it might grow, but not that much.
A lot of people in the world, especially women, feel that there's not a lot of good relationships out there. And obviously, what's the point in waiting forever just for the perfect relationship, just to have a family?
So honestly, I'm not sure what will happen before we
Because
all
a
get
family includes a father and a mother and the child and children and the child.
replaced by AI sex bots. But I do know one thing, and it's that when it comes to societal problems, I've done this long enough where if you follow the money, you'll often find the answer. Governments declare low birth rates as emergencies, not because they care about culture or tradition, it's about money. And fewer children mean fewer future taxpayers to support an older population. And it's exactly why I think issues like illegal immigration will always exist in the US, no matter what party. Because the truth is the US will collapse without the inexpensive labor that we use. So no matter who you voted for, there's no real incentive to actually solve that problem. And if you don't believe me, look, that's fine. I mean, look around the world. Just this year, one of the world's most isolationist and homogenous societies, Japan, one of my home countries.
Wait, let me actually Google this word. I actually liked it. Don't share this website. Homogenous. Meaning. Homogeneous. Of the same kind, alike. I'm gonna remember this word. It's homogeneous. Let me actually write it down into my dictionary.
Allow the highest number of immigrants ever.
There aren't enough people coming into the construction sector, so we decided to hire more foreigners.
So yes, a lot of the immigrants were brought in legally as skilled labor, but when Japan's doing this, is this the solution?
I don't know what a good solution to that would be. Giving people the opportunity to come here and be able to add to that would be.
For you, it's
good.
gonna be to have kids.
A lot of people are anti-immigration, but you got to recognize, like, for example, boost the economy. It can help people.
I think people are strapped for cash, but I think more people are starved for hope. We're somehow more aware yet more jaded, and we're endlessly scrolling looking for evidence that the world isn't what it promised us to be. And for the longest time, I was the same way, man. I never see myself getting married or having kids. Why be tied down when I have all the freedom in the world with this job? But just like anything, with all freedom and no responsibility, what does success mean without any sort of meaning? Because I've met way too many rich people who have everything except the family, and I'm willing to bet all their money that they would trade it all for a family. Because what I realized even building this channel is that hard work means so much more when it's not just for me, just how I want to change how society approaches issues. Similarly, I see fatherhood the same way, of pushing it forward for the next generation. But in the end, it's your call. And choosing to have children or not should never feel selfish if it's truly your decision. But always ask yourself, are you choosing freely, or are you part of the statistic that's being nudged away from something that's inherently human? Because in a sea of everything's cooked and the world is going to shit, let's start by making our own choices rather than listening to some narrative or some fucking influencer. Because only then can we change how society approaches issues. So last little yap, if you want to...
I like how in the end he usually just tells people he usually bullshits on himself, shits on himself just so that he could be, just so that he could have the, how do I put this correctly? Just so that people would understand all of this. Like, listen, you can listen to me, but at the end of the day, make your own choice. This is something that I share with him similarly. And yeah, I think it's the end of the video. So let me actually check the comment section, because I think I got a good comment. You'll read. Yeah. It's about abandoned place on dirt. I've done so many reactions on this, mate. Listen, you can link it up. I might check it around the next stream. Link it up for sure on Twitch. And who knows, if I decide, maybe actually while we're watching the Super Bowl, because again, we're not gonna watch the Super Bowl the whole time. Obviously, it's gonna be like episodes, and then we're just gonna watch something at the same time. So yeah, anyway, I don't see the comment here. I might just have to go to Twitch. But anyway, guys, moral of the story is, at the end of the day, it's your call. That's something that we all mentioned, but really truthfully, think, like, do things, obviously do things, but also think what you're doing before you're doing it, cause trust me when I say it, and I've been through it personally. You will live such an easier life if you just do what, how do I put this, girl? If you do what is actually coming from you. I encourage everyone to have kids. I do think personally that this is one of the greatest things you can do to this world, but that's, as I said at the beginning, that's because I think that's the best way to live life. All I have to say to you is, if you think that doing something else is the best way to live life, just do it. Just don't be sad afterwards, okay? Don't be sad, don't be mad, and don't blame anyone. That was your choice. You did it. You're now taking responsibility for it. And that's it, my guys. So I hope you enjoyed this stream. We're not gonna sit here for longer because I got some stuff to do before I head to bed, because I gotta go drive a car in the morning and it's actually really early. I have to get to the place, which means that I have to go to bed faster so that I can wake up earlier. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy me streaming at least at some periods of times. I try to do my best, I promise. For those of you watching on YouTube in replay, feel free to like this video or dislike this video if you did not enjoy it, but you know the rules. If you disliked it, please leave a comment. If you liked it, you can also comment. But truthfully, I want to know what you don't like so that I don't make these mistakes anymore and that I make my videos, my reactions all better. So thank you again for watching this. This was me, Zeno, and I will see you in my other reactions.